So center the body weight, draw the belly in, extend through the arms, and just allow the forehead just to rest onto the earth, and just really settle into the body, leaving your day behind, and just allowing the breath to guide you. So all together, let's just take a big inhalation and actually plug your fingertips in. So you're going to feel a little roundness through your spine, so you actually feel yourself lifting quite a lot. And then exhale the breath, and see if you can shift back just a touch more, tailbone to heels. Just gently close your eyes down. This allows you to be more internally focused. Once again, inhale. Rise a little off the mat, so just rounding a little through the spine, tucking the chin in towards the chest. Exhale the breath, land the forehead. Just breathe out, center the weight, and draw that tailbone back towards the heel. So it's a really nice grounding posture, but also very restorative, especially after a busy day. Inhale again. Now feel your ribs expand even more, so we're three-dimensionally breathing. And I would like you to breathe out, empty completely every inch of breath. And just focus now on what you want to achieve through your class today, what your intention is. Take a breath in and release your breath. And we're going to draw ourselves up onto those hands. So we're going to do a little bit of circular breath as well with movement. So come up onto your hands. Just draw your knees in a little bit more narrow. We're going to draw the body weight forwards, and then you're just going to draw a little bend in the knees and the elbows and press back. So now we're a bit more parallel. Exhale the breath and just gently, lightly touch the forehead to the earth. Again, inhale, shift your weight forwards. Good, bend at the elbows, exhale, push it back. So it's kind of like a reverse striking cobra. Come again one more time, inhale. Good, and exhale, press back, so guiding yourself back with the tailbone. Now can you shift your weight slightly to the left heel? Just going to feel that a little bit more through the left glute, but also through the side body. And then just shift your weight over to the other side, noticing if you've got any tension caught up in your body, upper, lower, middle back. Come back to your center. Good. Deeply breathe in again. Rise onto all fours. Good. And this time you're going to take the circular motion towards the right. So we've done this one before in our warm-ups. Elbows bend, drop through the chest, and come around to the left as we just circle. Inhale to exhale to create some flow, cultivating that life force and energy through your spinal column, through the back body. Beautiful. So not only are we warming the body, but we're just shifting any stagnation, anything that's been caught up through the day, any residual tension, stress, emotional congestion as well. Just one more time to that side. Now it doesn't matter how many you did. If you didn't count, we're just going to do a couple to the other side. So just start that motion, dragging the chest down, separating the knees a little more if you feel you need to. Eye gaze stays forwards, and breath guides you. Beautiful. Let's just go approximately 2 more on this side until you land back into your center. Where we just come once again just onto hands and knees, just shift anything you feel you need to. So shoulders to wrists, knees to hips. We're going to go ahead and just release our right leg out the back. Good. Some of you may like to do it as a prone pointer, so you're going to come out with the arm as well. And then draw it open to 45 degrees, arm and leg, or just the leg. Come back into your center. Now this time draw your right knee around to the side and your left elbow pulls back like a coat hanger. Good, and extend it over. Make that 180 degree, point 45, open. And shove it through down, good. And then knee to elbow, pulling opposite directions and extending. One more round, so open to 45 degrees. If you feel you need to tap the toe instead, that's okay. And then knee and elbow together simultaneously. Come back to the extended position. Allow your left hand to come down for me. Tap your right foot across to the side And then inhale your breath to rise. So arms are nice and parallel here with the shoulders. Exhale, come over towards the left side. Just leaning in, open up the body. Good, I'm going to make that motion up, wide, and over towards your right side. So hand to the hip or hand down your thigh. Good, just extending through the body. Good, let's go again. Open, so nice big wingspan. Over towards your left, open through the body. So a little breath work here to pull that top shoulder back. Exhale, come wide. Good, and then just leaning into that right side or hand by your thigh. Let's go one more time. Inhale, set that eye gaze down. Open the chest, settle the eye gaze up. And then open the wingspan and over towards the right. So getting lots of oxygen, pockets of air all through that left side of your body. Come back all the way up and exhale. Draw yourself back down, sweeping the leg up, around and back where you came from. Beautiful. Just take a few motions here of cat-cow. So we just warm the spine, eye gaze looks forwards and through. Tuck the chin around the spine. Good, again, inhale, drop the belly, eye gaze looks through the space. Exhale, chin to chest and around through the spine. 3 more sets, so just take your own rhythm. Quietening the mind, just really feeling into those tight spots in the body. Navigating your way through naturally. Beautiful, waking everything up. And that was your 5th one. Just come back to neutral spine. Perfect, you ready for the left side? So we're going to extend the left leg. Just take your time, and those of you who want to extend through the right arm as well, what you want to make sure you do is don't shift your weight back. You want to be wrist to shoulder, belly tucked in, hips level like a tabletop, and extend through the arm and the leg. So we're going to go open to the diagonal. Good, so lots of control here. Come back to center. Good, I can see it in your faces. Go all through, elbow and knee. Good, and then extend straight in 180. Good, open again 45 degrees, like you're opening the doors. Come back, steady the eye gaze, and then knee and elbow simultaneously. Good, controlling the work. And again, open 45. You're all over it now, good. Extend back to center. Starting to feel warm, yes. Come through and open and extend. So place the right hand back down to the floor. Guide your left foot up and over, so you're creating that wedge through the foot. Press floor away, inhale to rise. Good, and we're just going to go straight over towards the right side. Now the key here is to open that top shoulder, tuck the tail, inhale the breath. Wings go wide, exhale, over to the side. Good, and again opening the body, tipping, extending. Good, go wide, and leaning in, C-shaping the spine. One more time, direct the energy over, and back through, opening the chest. Taking that side bend. Good, 2 arms come back up. Inhale, draw the body weight forwards, and you just got to control around the back, sweep, and place it back down onto the mat. Good, so we're going to just draw ourselves forwards again. So just extend your arms, draw your body weight up and over towards those hands. Good, and then exhale, lower the body down in one straight line. So you really tuck your elbows when you do so. Inhale, peel the chest off for baby cobra, and then exhale, lower yourselves down. I want you to round the spine, so as you push the floor away, think arc of the spine. Good, tucking the chin in and exhale all the way back down to child's pose. Just take a little resting point here. Feel free to shift your weight slightly to the left here, feeling that extension again through side body. And then carefully over to the other side. Back through to your center. So we're going to repeat that little sequence. We're going to go a little faster though, because you know where to go. So shift your weight forwards onto the hands and the knees. There's your in-breath. Exhale, glide the body down to the earth. Elbows stay tucked. Inhale, press pubic bone down, peel chest off. Exhale, lower yourselves to the floor. Push forward away, arc the spine. Good, and have a look at this. Next time you're going to lift up the right leg. You might want to do it now. Just make sure you don't burn my toes. And come all the way back and down. It's a little precarious. Let's do that. So you're coming over to a little pigeon posture. Yeah, so it's a little diagonal pigeon. Now we're not going to be here for too long. You want to tuck your toe at the back. You get the idea of this. Push the floor away. Inhale to rise. And exhale, lower the knee down. Alright, so the hands are just slightly in front, so you can shift your weight forwards. Inhale the breath. Exhale, lower the bodies. Inhale, press the floor away, tuck elbows, baby cobra. Exhale, land. Around the spine as you rise. Get back into that neutral position. Extend the left leg. Tap it over towards the right side. Slide the body back and get a nice little active stretch here through the piriformis, through the glutes. Get ready to take your next in-breath, tuck the toe, shift your hands if you need to, rise again. Good, and lower it down. Good, shift your hands forwards. I'm going to give you the option now to come on up onto the toes through your plank. So inhale, chest resides over the hands. Exhale, lower yourselves down, so elbows stay tucked. Cobra or upward facing dog, inhale. Exhale, land. Good, now push the floor away. Instead of rounding your spine, just come straight up and back. Right leg extends, tap across over looking at your left shoulder. Slide the body back and down so you get this nice little active pigeon posture. Chest should be over the thigh. Tuck the toe, inhale the breath. Rise and shine, everyone. Good, and exhale lower. Remember, you don't have to go on the toes if you don't want to. You can continue doing them supported on your knees, but if you wish, rise on up, shift the weight slightly forwards, breathe into the core and exhale to the floor. Good, inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. So really active through the thighs, softening the body down. Touch down, inhale, breathe into the core, lift your left leg if possible at the same time, tap it across and slide on back. Good work. Chest over the thighs. Breathing out. Tuck toe. Get ready to lift on up. Nice and active. And then release your knee back to the earth. So we're going to come on up. I want you to tuck your toes for our first downward facing dog. So just take your time. Lift your knees to hover first. Press back slowly, inch by inch. Just allowing the heels just to hover just above the floor. First things to check is just your hands. So you want to make sure your hands are shoulder width apart. Spread your fingertips. And then draw your inner arms toward each other. Good. Now as you're lifting up your hips and sit bones, I want you to flare them to the rooftop. And then press back through into the hamstrings, right back into your calves, and down into the floor. So you've got a really active downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk the dog. So you want to bend one knee and just put pressure into the opposite heel. And then the opposite. This time bending the left knee and pressing through the right heel. So do that as many times as you need to, just allowing that light compression. As you breathe in, you rise up off the floor. As you breathe out, you press back. You're just diffusing any stress that you're carrying through the mid-upper back at the same time. Just feeling that spaciousness in the chest cavity. Notice how you feel in this inversion. So when we're upside down, we give the brain a good drink. Not only that, but actually just start to let go of some of the busyness in our minds, let go of the thoughts. So just empty out the brain, the processor, that goal-orientated machine that's between your ears. And press back through to the heels. Good, and we're going to lift our right leg high to sky, three-legged dog. So just take your time, glide it up. You want to bend the knee and roll open the hip and look underneath your right forearm, so it's quite active. Good. Exhale the breath. Inhale and reset yourself, so stretch that right leg all the way to the sky. Then slowly lower that foot to the floor. Good, resetting it, and then taking your left leg up to the sky. Inhale to rise. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, roll open the hip, look underneath your left forearm. Good, re-squaring the body and extending the leg up to the sky, and slowly making your way down to downward facing dog. Now we're going to all lower ourselves down onto the knees. Press your knees wide, your big toes touch, and thread your right arms. This will just give the shoulders a little ease, a little break. And we'll get ready for the next pose. So as you extend that arm through, just lightly touch the side of the head towards the ground. We're going to push the floor away, and as we do, inhale the breath, rise onto the left hand, and take your right arm all the way to the roof. Exhale, breathe it back down, getting ready for the left arm to slip underneath. So thread the needle, press the tailbone back, extend the right arm through, soften the forehead. So we're just gently letting go around the third eye, which is just above the eyebrows, center of the forehead, a place of the inner wisdom, intuition, and inner guidance. So now guide your left arm to the roof as you press your right hand to the floor. Inhale. Good, and exhale all the way back. Now as you come into this next pose, you're going to press the toes back into the floor, downward facing dog. You're going to go ahead and just ensure that your feet are not too far away from your hands. I'll get you to lift up your right hand off the floor and shoot it through to the outer left calf. So we get this nice little twist, look underneath your left forearm, so you feel it through the hamstrings as well as through the thoracic spine. Now if you find this really, really heavy duty, come back onto your knees and go back to the thread the needle pose that I've just taught you, particularly if your shoulders have any issues. There's no shame in doing that, just listen to your body. Extend the right hand back onto the mat, inhale the breath. Rise onto the balls of the toes, reset the down dog, back through to the heels, picking up your left hand and guiding it to the outer right calf. Looking underneath the right forearm, so you keep the hips really square and level. This is all about mobility work through the thoracic spine. It just sits behind your heart. Fantastic for opening up. Take another breath, just relax where you can. And then exhale, left hand comes through. I'm going to shift our weight forwards to chaturanga, so shoulders to wrists, either high plank or supported plank. Exhale, lower yourselves down with control. Good, inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Beautifully active, good. And exhale all the way back down. Now as you rise, see if you can tuck the toes. You might want to do a supported one. You know how we just did that extension? You're going to do that the same. So extend the right leg, start to tuck the toe, and press yourself all back up to three-legged dog. Good. Bend that top knee, and we're going to get ready to flip over. So it's a little tiny wild thing. All you want to do is place your right ball of your toe outside your mat, land the body, left leg stays straight and strong, right arm shoots to the rooftop. Squeeze your bottom underneath to support your spine and get ready to shift the weight back over. So look down to the floor, pick yourselves up, toes down, good, and lower yourselves down through chaturanga. Good work. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And of course, if any of this flow is too active for you, you come back to child's pose. Lower yourselves back down. Let's get ready to push the floor away. Cling onto the abs. The left leg extends, tucking the toe, rising all the way up to three-legged dog. Bend the knee, roll open the hip. You can either stay here, you don't have to flip it over into wild thing, but if you can, keep support through your right hand. Start to pivot on the right ball of your toe. Let the left ball of your toe come down. Your chest should actually be looking up towards the rooftop. Good work. Look over, back to your mat. Lift yourself back over. Good. Back to plank. And lower yourselves down for a little breather. Good. So I'd like you to take hands and stack them underneath. So let's give the shoulders a little break and come into the right leg. So bend your right knee, taking your right hand and placing it on top of the foot. So think about now this quad. So front of your thigh, pressing the heel towards your bottom, and just lowering the chin down towards the hand. Now soften it just a little bit. Good, and then try it again. Inhale, draw the heel towards the buttocks. And then exhale, soften. So you're creating the tension. You want to pull it towards you on the in-breath. So that's the active part of it. And then I want you to feel a little bit of release as you start to just loosen up the grip. Good. Now if it feels good to do, you can go ahead and do one more, or extend your left hand out, plug your fingertips in and come on up to a half bow pose. So you're pushing your foot away now, going in the opposite direction. So instead of pulling it towards you, go like a dancer. That's it. And then exhale the breath. Slowly let go of that right foot. Bring your right hand around so you've got something just to rest on. Bend your left knee, take left hand on top. And let's go ahead and do the same kind of breath work. Just remember the breath is what really creates the chi force, the chi life force energy. So inhale, pull the heel towards you. Exhale, start to soften down into the earth. Just receive the stretch. Again, inhale, pull towards you. And exhale, soften. So you're going to go one more time. So thinking about pushing pubic bone down towards the floor as you're pulling that heel towards you. It's very, very active, but still calming. Exhale, soften. Now you can either take that one again, or extend your right hand rather. Plug it in, lift and rise. Keep everything square. Push the foot away from the crown of your head. And try not to flip anything over. This is all about looking forwards into the future. Have your vision, and then exhale, soften. Everything melts back down. Hands come underneath your shoulders. We're going to come and reside back in child's pose, either narrow or wide with the knees. And just land your chest on the floor. I want you to take 3 centering breaths. Let's start to think about rising onto the hands and knees. Tuck your toes once again. Push back into downward facing dog. Breathe out. Good. Same theme as before. This time as your right leg rises high to sky, go ahead and lift up onto the left ball of your toe. It's going to help you now as you look forwards and step to the top of the mat. Good. Can you lower your back knee? Inhale to rise, just into that low lunge. Soften the breath. Eye gaze comes forwards. Hands come to heart space. And think about the left elbow to the outer right thigh. So you're going to just cut it through from the waistline. You've already done a little bit of work through the thoracic spine. So press palms together. Start to feel yourself. Let go of tension. As you take that compression, your chest opens and you're moving away from the collarbones. We're going to look down towards the floor. I'd like you to take your left hand inside your right foot. Tuck your toe at the back, right hand to right hip. Step up and step it in about a good half distance, so half foot distance that is. Turn the heels slightly in so you've got pyramid legs. Yes, this is going to allow you to ground. Now what often happens is we start to twist the hips. If you're twisting, think about bringing your foot in a little bit closer because you may just be very tight and constricted in your hamstrings. So the idea is to pull your right hip back and your left hip slightly forwards, and you should be quite square then. Keep your right knee slightly bent, particularly if you're tired. And let's go ahead and see if we can extend the right arm to the rooftop so you get this nice twisted triangle. As you come around, think about lifting your chest, pressing evenly into the mounds of your big toes, and even draw your inner thigh muscles together so it's really active. work, everyone. Bend your right knee a little bit. You're going to lower your right hand and your left arm is going to sweep back and around. Step the foot back a little and come into warrior two. Good, so you want to pitch your right knee out to the little toe. You should have your right leg bent, your right knee bent, coming forwards to me. Good, and as you drop into it, just check that you can look down your middle finger. So unwavering focus. Can we drop a little bit further? Excellent. So take your right hand and guide it up towards the rooftop and just let your left arm float around to the back of your waist. Good, so it's a bit of a bind. Now drop into the right leg. That's it. So this is your sun warrior. So you want to C-shape your spine, tilt yourself back and keep squeezing the glute at the back just to protect you. We're going to come into a full triangle. So as you extend your right leg, ground yourself through the mounds of the big toes, open the wingspan, and prepare just to float in the opposite direction. If anyone was looking for a challenge, and only if you want to, and you know how to do floating half moon, you bend. I'm going to speed up through the teaching and technique of this. Speed it up just a little bit by stepping in, because it's just an option. Hand can float in front or on your thigh, and you come into that beautiful balanced pose of floating half moon. So you've really got to find your center of gravity. We're going to come back, take a big step back for me, and everyone now rise into warrior two. Looking down that middle finger. Good, drop a little deeper. Turn your right knee out. Your legs should be talking to you by now. Good, and sweep all the way forwards now, all the way over like a cascade. Yep, framing the front foot and stepping yourself back to downward facing dog. Press into those heels. Options would be just to take a little bit of restoration in child's pose or chaturanga. Come forwards to high plank. Knees or toes as you lower down to the earth. Inhale, press the floor away. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, slowly lower. Good. Press back through child's pose. Take a breather, we'll all catch up. Oh, good to see everyone took the harder flow. Just rest your spine just for a moment. And then go ahead and just tuck the toes. Lift your knees off the floor and press back to downward facing dog. Just notice if you feel a little different now on that right side. Before we take left leg, inhale, rise. Big breath in, rise onto the right ball of your toe, look forwards and step to the top of the mat. Excellent, back knee comes down, inhale to rise. So just keep letting that energy flow through you. Exhale to soften. Now you want to bring your hands to your heart space, so drop through the shoulders, hands come through. Remember, you want to cut through from the waist. So what you're doing is just turning right elbow to outer left thigh. That's the way. Push your palms together and think about your fingers facing away from your nose as you rise on up off that thigh bone. It's an amazing stretch for your middle back. Just remember to keep breathing. Look down towards the floor. That's where we're heading. So right hand comes down, left hand comes to the hip immediately. Tuck the toe at the back and get ready to elevate and step it in a good foot distance or a half a foot. Okay, and turn the heel in. Mountains of your big toes are grounding you. And remember what I did before, steer your left hip slightly back and your right hip slightly forwards. And you should be in a really good position now. That looks good. If you're really tight, bend your front knee. If you want to go further, open the left arm, guide it up above your shoulder, and think about elevating just a little bit. It's kind of like you're aerating your spine. Amazing for the IT band. Okay, sweeping that left hand down towards the floor. Good. And you're going to open everything back into warrior two. So you want to push that right foot a little further back. Good work. And then left knee pitches out towards the little toe, looking down that middle finger. Good. Drop a little deeper. Open. A little squeeze between your shoulder blades. Turn the palm up. Just guide yourself back. So I can see just a few of you just need to turn your knee out a little bit more. Think little toe. Good. You make those inner thighs work at the same time using the stability here through the glutes. Allow the hand to reach back behind your waist like a little half bind. Drop a little deeper again, breathing in. So remember, your left knee should be very bent now, but you're moving in the opposite direction with your upper body. Good. Now start to extend the leg at the front, so that's your left thigh. Open your wings, and let's get ready to fly all the way over to Trigasana. So this is your triangle pose. Top arm extends, jut the hip slightly towards your right. Try not to have a little vacation down there. You're just using it for gentle support. So we don't want to push down. We want a beautiful long waist. So think about pulling slightly away. Now either stay, or if you know how to do floating half move, bend your front knee a little, step your back foot in a little closer, look down to where you want to go. Hand can be off or on. This is easier, this is harder. And then just guide your back thigh up off the floor. Flexion of your foot. And top arm should just be above your shoulder, like you're standing between two sheets of glass. Good. Beautiful standing strength. Point of difference now as you come back, big step back. Good, and you're back into that powerful warrior two. Looking through that drishti, which is your eye gaze focus, to the middle finger. As you cascade everything over, forwards towards me. Pivot on the ball of your back toe. Hands frame the front foot and step back to downward facing dog as you bring down. Alright, most definitely if you found that as a hard sequence, just take a little rest. We'll come forwards, let's take chaturanga, shoulders to wrists. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, fill it up with beautiful oxygen, life force energy. Good, and exhale down. Good, and if you're in child's pose, come join me, flat on your belly. Good, all the way forwards, slowly. So now we're going to take both the legs, bending the knees, taking hold of both your feet. Now I want you just to soften wherever you can in the upper body. So forehead maybe can land on the earth. I've got a microphone in the way that you guys can really ground down. And draw your heels towards you. I'm just going to gear it up a little bit. So just release the heels. Take another in-breath, pull the heels towards you. Press pubic bone to floor. And exhale, relax. And again, inhale, pull towards you. And exhale, relax. And I suggest if you want to rise with me, now you're going to float everything up off the floor, beautifully active, good. Magnetize your knees toward each other, your chest opens, your eyes gliding forwards. Beautifully active stretch. And then exhale, soften back down to the earth. Let everything go. Turn your head to one side. And then perhaps to the other side. The center. Draw your hands underneath your shoulders. Good. I want everyone to tuck your elbows in. I'm going to push the floor away and we're going to come into a supported plank position. Good. Now you're immediately going to open up through your right. You get to do this a couple of times. This will be your practice run. Right leg glides off the floor into side plank. And then you're going to take this right hand and just sweep yourself back down and see if you can keep that right leg still elevated. Good, pivoting everything around and lowering yourselves down, back down to the mat. Good. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, lowering down. Okay, let's get ready to push the floor away. Supported plank. Inhale. Time to wave open the left arm. Side plank. Good, leg just hovers above the floor. Looking down towards the ground as the left arm comes back down, directly underneath left shoulder. Pivot those hips around, leg can stay elevated or not, up to you, and lower yourselves down so it's a lot more controlled. Good, inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lower. Good, just take a breather. Maybe just float your arms back behind you because we're going to be rising again in a moment. Turn your head to one side, and the active part of the class, and then turn your head to the other side. Come back to your center. And drag your hands underneath your shoulders. Now you've got the choice, you can continue doing what you're doing, so when you rise you come into supported plank, or we're going to tuck the toes, rise into full plank, and open up to side plank. Some of you might be able to lift the leg as well, so this one is quite a strong pose, as you can see when you elevate. Just an option though, if you feel you need to keep the knee down, that's okay. We're going to flip ourselves over, right hand comes to the floor, see if you can hold the leg up. Good, lower yourselves down. Good, you've got to use your intuition, what feels right for one person, maybe not for the other. Inhale to rise. Good, and exhale to land. Now we're on a roll, we're just going to do it one more time. So knees or toes, tuck and push away. Inhale, open left arm, so you can come into normal side, or you can come into this it's like a 5-pointed star. Lift it up off the ground, look down to the ground as you flip it back over, hand, and lower yourselves down, tuck the elbows. Inhale, cobra, or upward facing dog. Magnificent. Exhale, lower, bring your hands behind you, clasp behind, squeeze your blades, push your pubic bone down to the floor, and lift and elevate as you look forwards. Absolutely beautiful. Lower yourselves down, hands just come back underneath your shoulders, push back to child's pose, and once again just run your hands back and just dive on down. So like a little cosmic egg, you're just coming down, forehead to the earth, just cradling the body with the arms by your sides. Take as long as you need. So if it's possible, clasp your hands behind you, and as you pull them back towards your tailbone, see if you can lift your head and your torso off the floor. Separate your knees a little bit wider, big toes stay touching, and you're going to dive on back. So you're going in the opposite direction. It's great for a flexion of our spine. Good. Inhale, release the grip. Hands rise. We're going to float the left hand back. Some of you have done this with me before, so you can either come into just camel pose, and so this one can be small at the back, heel, left one, or catch it, and quad stretch, whilst pulling yourself back slightly. So just take your time if you want to get into this one. It's a bit of a process. So hand, grab, pull it through, good stretch here, and then just float the eyes up. Good. If you took this pose, take another breath to find the height. Exhale, let it go. Stay one more breath here in camel. And we're all going to rise on up onto the other side. Good. So hand floats back, either small at the back, push and squeeze the bottom forwards, or hand to heel. Catch hold of the top of the foot, pull it towards you. Good. And then just eye gaze up. Very, very defined stretch. Wonderful. And then release the foot, but stay for another breath. Inhale. Good. You're going to sweep your right hand to meet, and then exhale once again. Come on down, and I'd like you just to draw those knees back together. Round yourself down so you get a lot of support here through that long part of your back. Forehead to the earth. Palms can face up. Shoulders just nestle in around your knees. 3 breaths. Really allows us to tune in to the base of our body, energy center 1, root chakra, as well as the second chakra, your sacral, where all our emotions float about. Take one more big breath in, big sigh out through the mouth, open the mouth side out. Hands are going to stay just beside your knees, and you're actually going to lift your foreheads, tuck your toes, and come on back to the back of your mat. Hands are going to help you, and as you rise and up, heels will stay close together or separated, as we just flood the breath in and come over to forward fold. Go ahead and just allow the chest just to roll over the top of those thighs. Really heavy through the crown of your head, heavy through the shoulders, but beautifully anchored to the floor with the heels. So just start to slow that down a little bit. Release the hands. Slide your hands up the shins to the knees and take that front back extension. Good. Exhale, float the chest back down. Bend the knees a lot. Press the tailbone back down and extend all the way up to mountain pose. It's a really good way to float on up. Heels and toes come to meet. Good. And then take your hands back behind you into a reverse prayer. So hands are looking like so. Elbows come back and away like a shelf. Good. Tuck under and guide your chest up towards the sky. So you want to drop the hands now, clasp, shoulder blades pull back. Maybe you can dive back a little bit further. Big breath in and come back to the center. Perfect. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. Full breath in. Soften shoulders, bend knees and fold the body in half, coming over into flat back. As we glide on up, look forwards. Exhale, soften down. So I'd like you just to slightly part your feet because you're going to inchworm your way out to your plank from here. So you just want to make sure your core is strong, one hand at a time, walking yourselves forwards onto that mat. Good, all the way out to a full plank. Excellent, lowering yourselves down towards the floor. Take a cobra or an upward facing dog. Exhale, lower. Inhale, tuck toes, full plank or supported plank to rise on up and press back to downward facing dog. Once again, right leg goes high to sky, three-legged dog. Now bend the knee, roll open the hip, and once again you can stay here or we can actually come into a flip the dog. So with the flip the dog, a little bit different to wild thing if you haven't done it before. As you pivot yourself around, your feet line up. Some of you done this with me. So you're going to squeeze your bottom, lift and extend the arm to the rooftop, or take it all the way back behind your head. Good. Now lowering the bottoms to the floor if you took that pose. Good. Rolling over onto your knees, flipping yourself over towards the right hand. Excellent. And press back to child's pose. Just relaxing the body back down before we go again. So tucking your toes at the back. Inhale to rise on up off the floor. Press back to downward facing dog. Breathe out. So everything we've done up until this point is prepared the body for this bigger pose. So keep your right foot on the floor. Lift and extend your left leg to the rooftop. Bend the knee and roll open the hip. Now I highly recommend if you don't like the pose or it doesn't feel good, just stay in this pose. If you would like to come with me, start to pivot on the right ball of your toe. Keep the right hand where it is. Flip yourself over so your feet land parallel. See how mine are perfectly parallel like a tabletop? Good. Push the floor away. Arm can extend to roof or towards the back of your head. Good. Now we're going to slowly make our way down. So just lowering yourselves back down to the floor. If you guys are still up in your three-legged dog, you can come and join us. Flip yourself back over towards your left hand so it wants to come over. And back to child's pose. So you're now just resting. Take your right arm underneath. There's been lots and lots, I know, of down dogs and up dogs. So take your right arm underneath your left and thread the needle and just find some relaxation now as you open the knees, press your tailbone back towards your heels and soften everything into the earth. Just soften into warm sand, contours of your body. And reaching that right back through. And do the same on the left. So just left arm reaches through. And reaching the left arm back through that space. Nice and long through child's pose. Exhale, the forehead comes back down. So then simply shift our weight forwards. Tuck your toes. Push yourself back up onto the hands and the toes and the heels to down dog. And we're just simply going to step our right foot to the top of the mat. So just a big step through. If you have to help it, do so. Good. And you're going to pivot yourself around to face the outside towards the gym. Coming into a wide forward fold. So feet are parallel. Now just take a breath in and feel yourself rise to a flat back. And then exhale, bend the knees a little and let yourself fold completely down towards the earth. Just a little relaxation through the back of the head. Just moving it side to side. For those of you who'd like to try and clasping your hands towards your tailbone, rolling those shoulder blades back behind you and allowing the hands to move towards the crown of your head. So it's a much deeper hamstring stretch. Full body immersion now as you feel that right between the shoulder blades. So only hold it as long as you can, but please try to let your breath ease any stress and tension you're carrying there. Softening everything back down as you let go of the grip. Float the arms back all the way to the floor. You're going to plug your fingertips in and take a little flat back extension. Guide your right arm to the rooftops and get a nice twist through the spine. You can see open the chest, looking out in that direction until your right hand now can find the floor. And the same thing's going to happen on your left. So inhale, the left arm rises and take that little twist. Left hand comes back down. This time I'd like you to step both your feet together right in the center of your mat. You're going to bend your right knee only. And keep your left hand either on the floor or on your shin. This time guide your right arm up to the rooftop. So you're going to feel this a little bit more through the IT band, a little bit through the hamstrings, and obviously a nice open twist now. Guide the right heel back to the floor, and as you do so, bend your knees a little bit before we get to the other side and just open your wings wide. So you're in a wide forward fold. Those of you who have a little bit of courage, you're going to lift your heels and come up into that diver's pose at the same time. I want you to think I'm as long as can be from my tailbone through to my crown. So you're working every little intricate muscle there to keep you stable and balanced. Start to drop your heels for me. Keep your right leg straight. Bend your left knee. Guide your right hand to the floor and your left arm to the rooftop. So you're just doing it on the other side now. So if you miss that, your right leg is straight and strong. Your left heel is off the floor, resting on the ball of your toe. Left arm rises vertically to the sky. Belly is strong and we're looking out to that left side. Once again, ground the heel. Draw the hands back toward each other so you can open once again wide. And give you a little point of difference this time. Flat back extension, but this time move your hands behind you. Feel like you're paragliding. Yeah? Now lift your heels if you want a little bit more. Keep drawing the belly muscles in through to the rib cage. You look amazing. Arms go wide. Good. Are you ready for touchdown? Heels first. Bend the knees a little and just flood the breath in and forward fold. Nice little resting place. Flat back extension. Flushing it out and exhale, soften down. Now tuck your right leg underneath if you like. You're taking a little curtsy. Good. We're you're going to continue facing that direction, you're all doing well, I'll come and join you. It's that we all face the same way. So you keep facing out this way. So we want your left leg underneath, grab your right leg underneath of you, and your left leg's going to tuck over the top. Perfect. Big toes come down. Just a nice little twist through the spine. So wrapping your right arm through to your left thigh, and just take a little look over your left shoulder. So that really grow tall. Inhale all the way up to the rooftop. Earth it back down through the tailbone, through the sitting bones. Eye gaze comes back to the front. And you're bringing your left arm with you, and you're simply just going to pick up this left leg and pop it over to the diagonal. Draw your right heel in towards the inskirt of your left thigh and shift your bottom back. Inhale to rise. And let's just take a forward fold over this leg. Now it's okay if your hands come on either side. Or if you want to take the foot and draw yourself a little closer. 2 rounds of breath. Start to think about the rise. Inhale, lift. Tucking your left leg in underneath. This time your right leg, catch it, cross it, big toe down, sitting on the ground. So this time you're going to wrap your left arm around that right thigh, make it as active as you wish. A little bit more of a passive stretch, extend your left leg just directly in front of you. Let's take an eye gaze over our back shoulder as we lift up beautifully tall. Taking all pressure off the spine, so you don't want to compress it down, so you want to think, I'm up against a wall, so lift on up, a pocket of air in each of your vertebrae, and then turn your eye gaze back towards the front, and you then just pick up the foot, extend it out on the diagonal, left heel comes in close, square up the hips, inhale the arms rise, good, and then exhale, you know where you're heading, destination is nose to knee if possible, wherever it takes you. Roll yourselves back, just holding onto the thighs and just coming in and finding yourself a nice comfortable place just to rest in. Arms just a little further away from the legs, legs extended out, back of the head resting. And just give yourself a little massage at the back of the head. It's going to rock your head side to side. Imagery we used before, like you're lying on sand. And allow the sand just to really hold your body, to make a perfect imprint of you. It's a beautiful resting place. As you bring yourself back to your natural state. Deep breath in. As you release your breath, just allow your eyes to soften back into their sockets. 2 little caves. Creating a little bit more space now with the back of your throat. Just parting the back of the teeth. You have an unobstructed line of breath. Breathing in through the nose. And a clear pathway out through the mouth. As you do this, you may have a soft audible sound only to you, like an oceanic sound as you breathe out. Feeling those waves of energy gently lull you into a deeper sense of relaxation. Now try the same style of breath in through the nose, but this time just keeping the mouth closed, and continue to breathe out through your nose. I call this the Ujjayi style of breath. Essentially calms the nervous system, which is often imprinted with stress. And there's that soft oceanic sound, barely audible. Take a deeper breath in and that slight restriction in the back of your throat. As you breathe out with mouth closed, back out through the nose. Moving through what we call Ida and Pingala, left and right nostrils. Directing that energy, beautiful oxygen pathway that you've just created, all the way out through the nose. And just feeling and sensing the spinal column now just relaxing. All the signals from the brain moving down the spine, calming the nervous system. Allowing yourself just to move very gently into restoration, nourishing your entire body with not just good oxygen, but also just the positiveness of being in this space, taking time out of your day, cherishing these moments of being absolutely present. Because we really only ever have this moment. When we can leave our past in the past, and we need not rush into our future. Being perfectly centered and grounded, aligned in our own truth, with that visualization of that warm sand, your body contoured, its perfect imprint of you, existing in nature, the very nature of who you are, being part of the universe. And just feel those waves of silence and stillness. Replace any busyness, any need to be anywhere else but here. mudra. So only paying attention just to your right foot. I just want you just to wiggle the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe. So just a little wiggle of your right foot, just the toes. And then pay attention to your left foot. Just wiggling toes on your left foot. And then come up to your right hand and just make a soft little fist with your right hand. And then release. And then the same on your left. Just close it together and then release. Just turn your head towards the right, just softly moving it and back through to neutral, then over towards the left. Coming back to the center, just making two fists now with both your hands very softly and then release. Just feel that energy, the sensation of energy moving back through your fingers. And then just point and flex your toes a couple of times. And just moving back into your physical body. And then just draw one leg in at a time. Your right knee bends, your left knee bends. And I highly recommend just keeping your eyes closed for as long as you can. Knees come towards your chest. And as you hug them in nice and close, just taking a couple of rocks side to side, just a couple of circles. Whatever feels right at this point in time. And then you're just going to allow the knees to fall to the right side in the most unhurried way. And pressing the floor away as you come up into a cross-legged posture. So for this next part, if you can try to just keep your eyes closed, and I'll just guide you through, but if you feel the need to open your eyes, that's totally okay too. Sometimes it's a security thing. So we're just going to have our hands just placed over the tops of the knees facing down, and we're just going to take a couple of different mudras, and I'm just going to explain what it is that we're actually doing. So your first finger is connected to the structure of your body, your physical body, and the middle finger, this is actually biochemistry, so that's your nutritional finger. And then the third finger in, the ring finger, is your emotional aspect of your body. And then this little one here, the little pinky, it's your electrical currents that run through your body. So we're just going to really just wake up our senses. So just with your eyes closed, just start with the first finger. Just tune into the structure, the physical self, and into your nutrition, your biochemistry. And then into your ring finger, which is your emotional body. And then into the electrical currents that run course through your body and through your meridians. So do it a couple more times. First finger. And just breathing in and out. Maybe continuing with the Ujjayi style breath. Third finger. Little pinky. And go one more time. First finger. Middle finger. Third finger. And little pinky. And just relax your hands and just let them float down, so facing towards the ground, just to ground you before you leave today. Take a deep breath in and just roll the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale the breath, drop the shoulders and just turn your head towards the left. And come back into the center and again roll your shoulders up to the ears. Exhale the breath and turn your head towards the right. Back to center and just take a full belly breath. Circle the arms overhead, grow as tall as you can be. And this is now full alignment. So from the tips of your fingers all the way up to the heavens, slowly lower the hands, staying with them together in prayer. Brushing the middle of the forehead for clarity of thought and wisdom. To the lips for clear communication. And to the heart for love and acceptance for self and others. And in deep honour and gratitude of oneself and one another, we say together, Namaste. And just gently blink your eyes open. And welcome back. Beautiful. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, everyone. Thank you for coming. It was a pleasure to see you all. If you've got any questions, come see me. And I'll see you on Sunday if you're here for Body Balance. Otherwise, I'll see you on Monday for yoga. So I'm now the yoga girl. For a period of time, I'm going to be filling in the yoga class on Mondays at 10:30. So you'll get to see me a little bit more if you're a daytime person. Have a good night, guys.